comb your hair first. Okay. Something else to add to your journal, right?
No.
Okay, if I could I get you to clip on the microphone? It helps out later. I get a much better audio.
I'll clip it here?
Yeah. Excellent. Okay, there we go.
Hope I don't step on it.
Okay, so how long have you been in your post here?
I'll be 5 years by November 28.
5 years.
27.
And why did you initially come to Taiwan? Did you get to choose your posting here, or did you were you assigned? Or?
I practically was assigned in a sense, because it so happens that at that time I knew that the Secretary of the Department of Labor, who assigns the labor attachés to different posts. I was working in a national oil company in the Philippines, part of the management group, and the Secretary of Labor called on me and saying, would you like to take a job overseas? Well, my children are all grown up. I said, why not? That would be a change. So I took on the job, and I was asked if I would be accepting the job in Kaohsiung. At the time, I don't know anything about Kaohsiung. Never heard. I'm even confused about Taipei and Taiwan. Which one is the country? Which one is the capital? Taiwan or Taipei? Taipei, Taiwan. So I was kidding him and said, why? I need somebody there who can I trust. Because at that point in time, there were a lot of problems here in this office about internal squabbles. At the same time, image of the office as against the workers' perception of what the office is all about. He said, I need somebody who can I trust. No? So if you would, I will assign you there. And I said, why not give it a try? It's my first post here outside the country. And so that's how I came to take Kaohsiung. And I came over and said, oh gosh, I was disoriented for a while. I don't know which way, because everything is like mahjong. Yeah. You know what mahjong is? Yeah, mahjong, the characters. I used to play that in the Philippines with my brothers and my mother and my kids, but this is different. Everything looks like a toilet because it's all tiles and you know. So that was my first. That's how I got to be here in Kaohsiung, and that was 5 years ago.
Had you had any positions outside of the country before?
No, this is my first.
So this was the first time?
This is my first.
Did you speak any Chinese or know any Chinese culture?
No, not even. I was, you know, it was in a hurry. I had a less than 2-week orientation of what it's all about, the job. And well, being a lawyer, I would have a good grasp of the subject. And I was working with the Department of Labor during my first job. Right. Before I became a lawyer, and while the first year of my being a lawyer, I was already a conciliator. Okay. So I was more or less familiar with the labor employee relationship problems and the labor disputes. So with that, I was more or less prepared, but well, the administrative aspect of it, the accounting, the auditing procedures, I said, that will come later on because I would have the staff here. Right. But practically, I have renewed all the staff members here, except for one who is doing all this liquidation and all these things, who's very familiar with the policies in the office. So I kept her in. But all the others are new staff. Yeah. Basically, it was necessary at that point in time to change horses so that it would be a new image.
What was causing the problem before? I've heard everything from working more for the brokers or for the companies than for the employees.
Well, I do not quote me on this. I have no proof, but before I came in, I had a lot of dossier materials given to me to study about the internal problems here. I think it was basically, I don't know, but somebody's getting paid somewhere. Right. But being here for the last 5 years, I'm sure if you are really a crook one, you can make money. Yeah. Really, it's so easy to make money if you crook. But it will compromise your mission. Right. It will, you know, somehow you cannot come out very strongly because, oh, you're on the take. Yes, sir. So I think that's basically what happens. And aside from the internal bickerings and squabbles about intrigues, so it was blown out of proportion, and the workers are somehow affected in one way or the other. They do not expect anything from our office. You are being paid. Someone under the table is it. I said, I always try to sweep under the table. I have not seen any for the last 5 years.
Some extra there,
Yeah. All these things, and it took us almost about a year and a half to clean up. And hey, I'm serious in this job. Hey, that it's, and even that the brokers were at first. During my first week, there was the rally in my office, asking whatever. I said, I called the head office. What is this all about? I am just new here. I said, so I took them in and discussed what the problem's all about. And well, they were saying that we were holding off documents at the time because that's the first move I did. If you are a bad broker and you have some cases where I will not accept your job order, I will not even release it. Until such time that the Council of Labor Affairs took notice of that, and well, they told us not to hold documents. So I changed the strategy. I said, I will not hold documents, but I will not accept. That means you cannot charge me for holding up documents if I don't accept, because I look at the documents, the CLA approval, it says from Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, etc. You have a choice. It's not even, we are not obliged, or the Philippines will give you. No. It's a choice for country. So that means I have the discretion to give you or not. I mean, it works both ways. But before that time, they have this different mentality that you need jobs, you come here to Taiwan, so you have to approve this. I said, no, I think this is a mutual agreement. You need us, we need you. That's the way it works. And for a while, they could not accept that. I have to tint my glass there, if you notice, it's tinted. Because the brokers always make troubles for me. Like, one time there was this foreign worker who is getting bored in our center. We have a center. We have an apartment here that the Philippine governments pay for, where the distressed workers can stay as long as there's problem and it's not yet resolved. Just like the way Telemaris. We have a small apartment there.
How many people can you house at a time?
We have 3 rooms, 3 big rooms, and accommodate, as long as, and it's fully air conditioned and very comfortable. And so what happened was, this worker we assigned here, okay, come to the office and try to just answer the phone and get the names before you give it to somebody else. And one of the brokers was having some gripes on us, saw this foreign worker and complained to the Council of Labor Affairs and to the police that we are asking the foreign worker to work when it is prohibited from, working in other places. I said, this is not work, this is volunteerism. She's not being paid. I had to argue with the association. So I said, okay, we'll have the glass tinted, we'll put the dividers there so nobody can see that. That's the reason why I had these dividers and the tint. Yeah, this was one especially troublesome broker who gave me a lot of problems before. And when I did that, I said, I cannot see you anymore. What's the problem? This is my office, not your office. So from that time on, they sort of understood what I'm here for. And I realized that after a year and a half building up the image. You see, the problem was I was making a breakthrough for the benefit of the workers and the brokers as well. I mean, that's why it was very difficult for me at that time.